Hey everybody, what's up? It's Alex back again. First things first, I want to apologise if I don't sound like myself. My voice is a little horsey from where I've been losing it over the last couple of days. Actually, it actually started to go just after I recorded my last video, so. But I actually wanted to get this video out because it is a contest entry to a good friend of mine, Jeff Kempin. He reached 500 subscribers. Congratulations, Jeff. Very well deserved. And this is his contest, where he wanted to show 5 riffs that we love. So it could be from any genre of music as well, which I love because I kind of have a big mixture here. As big a mixture as I can get, really. So let's actually get into this video. I have 5 riffs to show you, Jeff, because like you said, 5 is a big number in your life at the moment. You did your 50th spin zone before doing the contest. You are turning 50 this year. I feel for you, I really do. I mean, not to put you down or anything, but I think I've got a few years yet before I turn 50. So, but let's get into this video. Starting off with the first riff that I chose. Maybe one of my favourites as well is from the Favourite Worst Nightmare album from Arctic Monkeys. Of course I had to get an Arctic Monkeys album in there. They are my favourite band, but the riff I'm going with is actually the main guitar riff from Fluorescent Adolescent, which is one of my favourite songs from this band, easily, so I had to throw it in there. Great riff, easily recognisable, and stays stuck in my head for days after I play it. So I had to give that a mention for the contest as my first one. So that is my first riff for you. My second riff is actually from an album I showed in my last video, Headhunters. I'm going with the song Chameleon. If you know this album, you know Chameleon. Of course, a classic jazz funk riff there. Absolutely love this album, one of my favourites of all time, and with very good reason as well. Chameleon is ace. So that's the second riff I wanted to mention, and maybe my favourite jazz album ever. I know it's debatable whether it's actually a jazz album, but for me, I'm considering it a jazz album. For my third riff, I'm going with the title track of this album. It's I Am Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, which, as many people know, is a psych classic. If you call it psych, I consider this album psych. Of course, 17 minutes. But we all know the classic riff from this track once we listen to it. I'm sure at one point or another we've heard the riff from this album, and being one of my favourite psych, probably even being my favourite psych album, I had to give it its mention, its fair share. So yeah, there we have the I Am Butterfly album, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, with the title track In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. And speaking of title track, I have gone with another one. This might be a little hard to see, but it is Back in Black by AC/DC. Another classic riff. Yeah, I get AC/DC has a lot of classic riffs, but I think Back in Black is maybe the one everybody knows. Even if you're not an AC/DC fan, or you're quite new to the AC/DC catalogue, you know Back in Black. So I mean, it's crazy, this album. It's not my favourite but from AC/DC by any means, but Back in Black has such a recognisable riff. I just had to go with it over all the rest of them, so that's my reason for picking that one. And then this final one I'm going to talk about, this fifth one, I only had the 12-inch single for it, but I'm happy to mention it because it's from their Raising Hell album. I think that gives it away. It is Walk This Way by Run DMC. The drum riff and the guitar riff in this are both killer. Of course, we all know the guitar riff from this. I wanted something with a good drum riff as well though, so I guess I could have gone with When the Levee Breaks. But I went with this just because it is a song that I use when I'm DJing quite a bit, because people love it when I drop this track, so I had to go with this one. Walk This Way by Run DMC is the 5th and final riff I'm going to talk about for this contest. So that's going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning back into the channel. Thanks for bearing with my my voice. And Jeff, once again, congrats on reaching 500 subscribers. You deserve each and every single one of them. And well, here's to many more. So thanks again for tuning back into the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.